Hi there, Tim Dolan in Duhok, Kurdistan, northern Iraq, and yet another episode of Adventures in Duhok and at the American University of Kurdistan, where it had now been 5 years old. It's now a 5-year-old institution, founded at the worst possible time in 2014 when ISIS began to grow. But after that stumble at the gate, there is at least the edifice up and a staffing of, I would say, to the best of my knowledge, dedicated people, some highly dedicated, to making this bold experiment work. I am involved as a faculty member with the accreditation of the institution, which is now commencing now that it's going to be graduating its first class. The upshot is this. It's an interesting opportunity to actually have an impact on the guts of a university, one that is supposed to be run American style, with American academic values in all of those dimensions. So, again, I'm involved with this. I've met with the finance director about university transparency, which is, I believe, an issue and an area that needs to be addressed. The other questions regarding transparency was really about chain of custody of documents, the archiving of memoranda, internal communications, as well as the usual grade records and employment records. So these things have to be recognized and dealt with. I went to the provost to get responses to those areas that are part of accreditation standards. I won't go over the technical details of that. I'll just finish with where the conversation then turned, which was to the curriculum. I am residing within the school or department, really, of international studies. I have a sufficient enough background in IR to pull that off, but I identify as a policy guy. The conversation, not at my behest, by the way, but at the behest of the provost, went to curriculum where I remarked that, well, the way that this department division is structured, we're supposed to be international studies and policy, and we don't really do policy. So we went through the catalog, looked at the courses that are being offered, and found one or two that are plausibly policy related. What we don't have is a specific public policy course or a public policy analysis course. So long story short, that's been green lighted, and I may be now bending my own career path more towards what I see as my home base of public policy. I did a quick poll, and I'll just also maybe end with this. I have actually a pretty robust class, 21 people, which is actually a good size given current enrollments. It's in my negotiation and mediation models course, which I really do enjoy teaching. It's a sharp group. They're basically upperclassmen, so they've had sufficient enough exposure to get things, and the language capabilities are good by and large. But I polled them. I asked them, how many of you within this context of international studies, they were all international studies students, how many of you expect to be groomed for work abroad, work with a foreign ministry, working perhaps as a diplomat? And out of those 21 students, it's roughly 25%. It was 5 or 6 students raised their hands in the affirmative, that was where they were envisioning their careers. What that means is about 75% are expecting to stay in Duhok or the region. And it leads to I believe, a pretty important basic mission question for the university and for international relations and policy, which is, are we grooming people to leave, or are we grooming people to stay? So again, stay tuned. We'll see where that goes. The answer to that question and many more will be forthcoming. Thank you very much.